Hello, hello, hello. This has been The Bold, and welcome back to another episode of our Sicily is Very Tall campaign. And in the last episode, the big news here is Rome was utterly crushed. Their heartland, with the exception of Rome itself, has been captured. They do hold a couple small territories, but Rome, which had advanced so quickly, so early, seems to have fallen into some seriously hard times to the Samniums. And we are looking to hopefully capitalize on that. Currently, Samnium has very little manpower. They are gaining back 223 per day, and they have 0 cohorts. So we have gone ahead and are fabricating a claim. We are going to look to declare war on them very soon. In the meantime, we started a war with the Etruscans in the hopes that we would just go and take some slaves. I am going to let this ticking war score just keep ticking up. And in the meantime, I am going to just keep trying to take some slaves. Oh, I'm going to merge these two navies together. Perfect. And in the meantime, I'm going to move these 5,000 men once again back up here. And we're going to try to take some slaves off of the Etruscans. We will be looking to go to war in this episode with the Samniums. We need to strike while we can before they rebuild too much. They are actually losing manpower at the current moment. I wonder what's going on there. But yes, I am already fabricating a claim for Latium. Oh, we have a death. Doesn't really seem to matter. I'm going to go ahead and just get more national tax. How much money am I making? 0.97 per month. That's not amazing, but it's also not nothing. So, let's see. I don't really want to fight you because you actually have much better marshal than me. So I'm just going to come down here and hope you don't follow. You have 20 pops, you have 15 pops. Alright, I'm going to probably land my cavalry right here in... I'm not scared of those. I am scared of all this, though. We'll see what happens if they start to come my way. I will, of course. And I did take some slaves, and I'm going to come on back home. That's how you do it, just a quick raid. Let's do it again, shall we? This time we will come back to Velkel. They are moving. There's 28 ships. I just don't like... Is there anyone with better marshal? No. I just don't love the fact that their leader is significantly better than mine, although their ships aren't as good as mine. I do have these octars, which are very useful. Let's see, where should I come here? We're going to try it. I think Velcal seems to be another good spot. Doesn't have a fort anywhere close to it. I will win that battle. No problem. Yeah, it's just some light infantry. And some light cav, which will be finished off fairly quickly. Even though they do have the tactics advantage. They seem reluctant to engage my fleet, which is good. They also seem like they are reluctant to engage. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep taking some slaves while I can. I'm going to just monitor the situation, make sure everything still looks good here. The Etruscans are pushing into Lucania. That's okay. They still would not accept peace, but their reasons are getting worse and worse every day. I might go ahead and just take this army, move it here, relieve the siege. Gonna take some more slaves, that's perfect. These 4,000 men, I am actually afraid of them. We'll see where they end up going. The Roman fleet is still rather large, so I think I'm actually going to get out of Dodge while I still can. Take that slave. Move you as quick as you can Back to your boats. Successful raiding party, and let's go ahead and just bring you back home. My army is still going to just continue to march north, which is perfect. Oh, it looks like I have been engaged. Let's check it out. Oh, and I've been engaged by pirates. My fleet should take care of them. In fact, maybe I'll even capture some of them. Or maybe I'll lose some boats. We'll see. Oh, this is not what I want. I ended up losing several boats. I only, uh-oh. And now I will definitely lose here. Alright, let's go ahead. Come on, sue for peace, y'all. Oh, no. Because the last major battle was... Okay, well, I guess I will probably lose this naval battle. It's going to be okay. As soon as I can get out of it, I'm going to hit that button. We are defeated. Oh, dearie me. We lost quite a few boats. They were all hurt. Fate is cruel. Oh, no. My admiral loses 10 loyalty and 10 popularity. What a shame. Looks like I will have to start rebuilding my fleet. That means they now can retake Eritrea. What in... Looks like we lost a little bit of our war score from battles, which means we doubly need this army to take care of business. It's a shame that we had to lose so much of our fleet in our little slave raid war. But it's part of the business of doing business when we are declaring wars just to take pops away from people. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one. You'll lose your position in government. That's fine. I'll hire someone else. Someone like you. I'm going to move my fleet back to Syracuse. Actually, it's kind of dangerous to have it sailing at the current. They don't seem to want to come and really relieve the island of Corsica, which means my ticking war score is just going to continue to rise. I am going to join this fight. If I can win this fight, then I think that should be enough to give me the war score I need to piece them out. Come on, get there before they capitulate. Get there before they capitulate. Yes, I did. And that should be enough for me to turn the tide of battle. Turning the tide of battle is huge here because that's going to push our war score up to 30, which means they will go ahead and accept some peace deals. So, again, part of my self-imposed rules is that I'm not going to take any territory, and I don't want to take any territory, so I'm just going to reset that. And I could maybe try to turn it into an extension. Like if I went to cancel and changed you occupation. No. How do I change occupation? I know I can do it somehow. Transfer occupation to, like, one of my vassal states, the Reagans. Oh, but now do I... Let's sue for peace now. Oh, and now they don't want it. Well, that was a mistake. Let's, and I can't ask for it back. Alright, so that wasn't a great idea, it turns out. I should have just gone ahead and take the peace deal. It's okay. We've been beating them as of yet. We will continue to beat them. I'm starting to feel less good about a war with the Samniums because they are building cohorts and they are allied with the Etruscans, and the Etruscans are still allied. Well, yeah, they're allied with the Etruscans, so I don't really love the idea of fighting another war with the Etruscans so soon. They do have quite the number of men. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, so now they will take the entirety of Etruscan Corsica to Rhegium. You know what? I'm going to do that. They are my vassals after all, so... Awesome. Now, my vassals are much more powerful, so that's helpful, I guess? Or who knows, they might just fight in a bloody civil war and lose everything. I'm going to go ahead and go pick up my army. They served well, and my king is in that army after all. I'm going to go ahead and bring you back to Masana. And we will see how this war fabrication goes. We are 57% there. I don't really love the idea of fighting another war against the Etruscans so soon, but hopefully now maybe that they don't have Corsica, they will be weakened somewhat. Seems like they've already disbanded some cohorts, so that's good. And I was kind of dumb here. I decided to fabricate my claim for the province of Latium. That wasn't, I guess, what I should have done, so I'm actually going to probably fabricate a second claim for something down here next time. I know that's just going to give them more and more time to build up a fleet and build up some cohorts, but I think it's needed. Speaking of building up a fleet, that's something I need to think about doing again. Although I do like getting 5.31 ducats per month. If it wasn't for those pirates, I might have actually beaten that Etruscan fleet, but that didn't happen. And we wouldn't be in this mess. Still, no one wants to trade with me. I'm all alone in the world. Let's take a look at some of the slaves we've gotten. We actually have more pops than we can handle in Syracuse, so I'm going to go ahead and build an aqueduct. It's perfect. I'm also going to promote infrastructure spending. And I'm going to come over here and probably... Oh, look! The governor policy is definitely working. My conversions are happening. Also, I've been moving a lot of slaves into these pops. Might I think about building an aqueduct anywhere here? No, I need to just really focus on getting the happiness here up by continuing to convert. So here in this building, in this city, let's take a look. In this city, I think I'm going to build a temple. Let's just keep converting that religion. It's going to make our omen powers a little bit more strong. Making good money. I'm going to go ahead and decrease fleet maintenance. With the whole decreasing fleet maintenance, I think it's also time to add some more to the fleet. Well, I don't have a lot of money, so I'm actually going to hold off on that. I'm going to go ahead and say that we're thankful, and I'll gain some omen power. And yeah, overall we're looking good. We've been very successful in our little slave wars. We have several tributaries, which is proving to be very helpful. Gaining a 1.75 ducats per month just from our tributaries. If I wasn't so scared of what the Massiopi and the Samniums had just done to Rome, I might think about declaring war on them. Didn't I just fabricate a claim here? I definitely don't want to fight that, though. You are relatively isolated. You are still a tributary of Rome. You have a truce, though, so I won't worry about fabricating a claim on you just yet. I'm already looking to expand. In fact, maybe up here is where I should be looking next. Maybe somewhere like Massalia. Massalia usually doesn't have a ton of cohorts, and it also doesn't have a ton of allies. I'm going to move you. Religious advancements, that is great. I have no provinces in which we could conquer in a war that we could fabricate a claim on. Only coastal provinces in our colonial control range or those adjacent to our territory can be claimed. So I actually can't even fabricate a war against them. I could just do like a show naval superiority war. I'll lose a bunch of stability though, and gain some aggressive expansion and some war exhaustion, so maybe not there yet. I could go ahead and I know I will probably take this coding when I get the chance. That's going to increase my diplomatic range, which should also increase the range in which I can fabricate claims, correct? I'm just guessing there. I'm not actually 100% sure. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's do this coding method. And it's perfect. Oh, I've gotten dementia. That's not great. Let's go to Massalia. And I still can't fabricate a claim, so, What about you? Can I fabricate a claim on you? Yes, I can. Ah, well, better luck next time. Martial advances. That is wonderful. Tech increases are the best. We are already at Martial Advance 3, and it's not even year 485 yet. This is wonderful. Our aqueduct is finished building. We have almost gotten our promoting local investment, or our infrastructure. I think I might go ahead and click this button again, since I certainly have the political influence to do it. As far as our governor policies go, though, it seems that promoting social mobility seems to work. Let's take a look at our population. Oh my gosh, that is such an ugly screen. Our population is looking very nice. I might even start pushing some pops away from the cities and into the countryside. I don't necessarily love the idea of decentralizing, but you know, I might move some slaves to like my food producing regions, especially if I start running out of food, which doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. And still no one wants to trade with me. Oh, and I always forget I own millet down here, or mealite down here. It's good to have, good to own. Won't do much with it, but it's slowly growing its own pop. It'll have a pop in December of 500, so then it'll go from 3 pops to 4 pops. Congratulations, mealite. I'm going to go ahead and decrease army maintenance. Just go ahead and just increase the amount of money I make as quickly as possible. After all, the more money I make, the more investments I can make into my country, and the more investments I can make into my country, the more money I will make in the end, and the more research, and you get the cycle. Let's check you out. I might think about saving up some money and turning you into a city, although currently you only have slaves. So it might be better to build something along the lines of a slave estate. That would increase the local slave output by 40%. That is pretty nice. What about you? How can I make your people happier? I think I'm going to have to build some more temples here. Because look, they're still majority Canaanite. And the temple is going to change the pop conversion speed, so I'm going to build another temple. You really do have to invest quite heavily to convert some of these pops. Eventually, I'm hoping to turn both Syracuse, Messana, and Catane into metropolises. I think that would be very nice, very useful. In the meantime, though, I'm just going to keep building libraries and academies in there. Help them to become as research efficient as possible. Looks like I'll lose 5 stability. I'm not too worried about that. Let's look at my heir. He needs to find a wife. I think Someone with a decent marshal would complement him well. Unfortunately, you might be my best bet. She's unfortunately depressed. I'm going to go with you. Festivities begin. It also might help to give him a job. He has very good charisma, so let's look at our offices. What's good with charisma? I think I might actually promote him. Oh, can I not choose my son? What about for Trophus? Nope. Well, it's okay. I can choose my son to take over this army. Because goodness knows I'm not doing a good job. Where's my son? Here he is. He's a primary heir. He's 21 years old. Is he already doing something? Location, he's in Syracuse. Well, he's just living life. Happy to be where he is, I guess. I guess I'll go ahead and turn these slaves into freemen. Or I could gain a bunch of gold. My guy's about to die, but I'm happy to turn him into freemen. Sounds good to me. What also sounds good to me is rebuilding my navy. I'm ashamed that I ever let it get in such disrepair. Let's go ahead and build some hexarenes, some tetrines, and some triers. I think I need a nice big fleet of, honestly, probably like 50 ships if I am really going to make this island thing work. I see that our subject state is seemingly handling this new territory decently well. See, this is what happens. You stick with me, and you will eventually prosper. Hopefully you just don't get any grand ideas about taking over. Do you actually know? I'm going to fabricate a claim on something a little closer to home. How about Lucania? That might be helpful. That way, at least if my allies can push in and take some territory, then even if I am up here trying to grab as many slaves as possible, we will, you know, at least win the war. And I might even move one army in and try to siege down the fort. Looks like we've had a close death as well as a civic advancement. That's good. I mean, the death wasn't good, but the civic advancement is. I'll go ahead and move you in. You're a fine researcher. All of my researchers are highly replaceable. I would love for the Etruscans to stay in this war. And I would actually love for them to lose this war. Meanwhile, I'm becoming less and less afraid of the Etruscans as time goes on. I'm going to go ahead and start, I'm going to go back up to normal army maintenance and start drilling some soldiers. It's going to really hurt my economy, but that's going to be okay for now. I would love it if the Etruscans would lose this war. This is a war that I'm going to need to follow kind of closely. Let's check it out. They have 30 cohorts. They're fighting... ooh. I don't think they're going to lose the war. But if they are just interlocked in a bad war, maybe they won't want to join in the defense of Samnum when I inevitably attack. What if I attacked right now? Etrusca would join in. And Lucania would not. Why not? They're... Oh, they are fighting together in a war. Who are you at war with? Oh, Umbra. Let's take a look at some of our inventions. I think I will probably go ahead and take one of these. Maybe naval maintenance cost. That looks good since I'm planning on building a rather large navy here. Speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and keep on keeping on building. I'm going to get another octarine, and that's all I'm going to have money for at the current moment. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Want to keep drilling these men, because I am currently only gaining 0.39 military experience per month, and I want to go ahead and reach my next military tradition, because that will allow me to build some of the biggest boats ever to sail the Mediterranean, the megapolaremes. I'm going to go ahead and, in this case, keep on keeping on with that national tax output. It just seems to be the best in this situation. I would love to move it to research, but the money situation helps a lot. Here, you need to, we might need to start thinking about the culture. We've moved a ton. We have moved a ton of Latin culture. Is that 33 Latin? Wow. I guess we took 33 Latin slaves. Or some of them are Siculian. I guess those are Latin. Either way, let's go ahead and build a theater. Well, whenever we get enough money, we'll build a theater, because that will help us start to move some of these pops into our culture. Assimilate, because it's assimilating just so slowly right now. Overall, even though we didn't... even though the last war was not as successful as I was hoping, I was really hoping to siege more of Etrusca down, just so that we could move more slaves to Sicily, which is going to be a reoccurring theme of the campaign. We are moving more slaves to Sicily, trying to turn it into, at least on this population map, the brightest spot it can be. Maybe the next place we will think about going is the Crete. There are lots of good pop centers here, and hopefully some places. Look at that, 31 pops. Are you at war with anyone? You're in a defensive league. They would all come to each other's rescue. I'm going to go ahead and gain that 93 gold and start building some temples. A theater. Sorry, start building some theaters. Build a theater. And, of course, it's time to maybe build some more boats. Let's go with several of you. And one of you. And just like that, we can get a new military tradition. And, of course, I am taking mine is bigger than yours. Going to get that megapolareme units, start making them. They are going to really help me just absolutely flatten any coastal forts. Coastal forts are no longer going to be an issue. I will just destroy them. Also, very soon, is that the next military tradition? No, in 2 military traditions, I will be able to get slave raids. So, for the current time being, I'm going to keep on keeping on training my troops, trying to increase their military experience. I wish the Etruscans would go ahead and get out of this war now. What nation is this? Fabricating a claim on it, though. They seem like a great future tributary. So do you, honestly. You were in a nice little sizable defensive league there. But again, you seem like a great tributary. Maybe I have the political influence. Fabricate a claim on you too. Veterans move on. I'm going to gain 2,000 manpower. I'm all for that. I might go ahead and just start increasing how many men. Well, nah, I'll hold off. Some theaters have been built. That's going to increase my pop assimilation speed. And, uh-oh, it looks like we now have a brand new king. Unfortunately, the old king is dead. Long live the new king. A black day indeed. Interestingly enough, he did actually grow some hair in his old age. He was bald both as a child, as a very young child, and as most of his adult life, but just, I guess the way things are, he grew some hair in his old age. Maybe he got a weird trait for that. Maybe it just happened weirdly. But he has unfortunately died. It does not look like this succession is going to go well, though. We have a new king, Basilius Philippus Agathig, Athoclid, and we are actually going to lose 20 stability, and one of the other pretenders is going to spend his wealth raising a rebel army. So, what does that mean for us? We're going to go ahead and get a new science advisor, and think about what that means for us. So we have a whole new army, just spawned out of thin air, and it is from someone who is not very loyal, but their loyalty is changing by 0.32 per month, so they will be loyal relatively soon-ish. I would love to just go ahead and bribe him. I'm going to just go ahead and bribe him. I'm going to gain a little bit of corruption, but not a ton, not near as much as my dear old dad had. And my uncle should be swayed for some time. Now his loyalty is above that magical 33%, or that, and so, and it's still going to increase. So, I think the succession crisis has been assuaded, at least for now, and I think I got a whole new army out of it, although I don't really know if I appreciate that, considering I am now in the red. Anyway, we'll have to sort that out next time. I think this is where I'm going to call it quits for today. We've been going for about 30 minutes. This is our extremely tall Sicily. As you can see, we are pumping up the number of men, or the number of pops in our territory. Rome has fallen. Etruria seems to be the dominant power on the Italian peninsula right now, although give the Samniums some time and they will surely reclaim that spot where Rome once stood. Carthage was at one point expanding on Hispania, but they are actually losing ground. I'm all for that because one day I hope to go slave raiding in Carthage, especially maybe on the island of Sardinia. Egypt is looking nice and strong. They're actually taking out their little neighbor there. Not much is happening in Greece. I'm a little worried about the Macedons. They may get eyes to attack Epirus, which is currently my tributary. Phrygia is still holding together pretty well. So are the Seleucids and the Marians. Anyway, that's kind of been the weekly world wrap-up. The Arverni are maybe showing themselves to be the predominant central power in central Gaul. That could be cool. But we are tall Sicily, so we won't be looking to necessarily expand, but instead just expand our influence. Anyway, I've had a great time playing this episode. I hope you have had a good time watching it. If you have, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't, you can hit that dislike button. And if you want to see what happens next, don't forget to hit subscribe. I have been Ben the Bold, you have been you, and I will catch you on the next one.